Hi everyone, and welcome to Techweek TV, brought to you by Callaghan Innovation. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. Today we're going to be doing an awesome session exploring, supporting Canterbury's world-class tech businesses, and I am very excited to have David Carter joining us, who's the chairman of Canterbury Tech. Hello.
Thanks, Sean.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
So to kick things off, tell me how you got involved with Canterbury Tech.
So I've been involved with Canterbury Tech for the last 5 or so years. I got involved because I was doing some work with the local community and I wanted to expand that, and Canterbury Tech was a good vehicle to do that.
Awesome. And just for those at home who are watching this and they don't know what Canterbury Tech is, what do you guys do?
Yeah, so we're a local membership organisation. We have about 500 members, ranging from small startups through to some of the larger companies. And really our remit is to connect, grow and inspire local tech companies. And we do that in a number of ways. So we have networking events, we put on an annual tech summit, which is the largest of its kind, and we do all sorts of supporting activities for the local tech sector.
Awesome. Do you want to give us a bit of an overview about the Canterbury Tech sector?
Yeah, so we're the second largest tech sector in New Zealand. Not many people know that, but we're actually larger than Wellington. We add $2.4 billion GDP to the economy every year, and we employ about 15 to 20,000 people. And I think a good way to describe us would be diverse. We have companies who operate in a wide range of different industries, from fintech to health to education, and also very diverse vertically. So we have a very good startup ecosystem, some really nicely established mid-sized companies, and some larger companies as well.
Awesome. And I have a question here around how does Canterbury Tech sort of fit into the scene? Like, what role do you guys play?
So, yeah, as I said, really it's about inspiring, connecting and growing, and being the glue that helps everyone connect, and to also just to have that oversight to say, what do we need to help the whole tech sector grow and go faster? How can we play with all the different agencies and partners involved? Trying to facilitate and coordinate that, and to speak to our members and see really where the gaps are and the pains that they're feeling, and doing what we can to try help fill those. Awesome.
Now, Christchurch has been through a massive change over the last decade. What stood out to you in terms of the impact that this has had on the tech scene?
So I think one of the biggest changes has just been the money that came into the economy as part of the rebuild, and I think that had quite a big trickle-down effect. So what we've seen is a lot more opportunities for companies and startups to take advantage of. So I think that's had a big effect. Structurally, obviously, there's been a big effect on the city. It's meant we've got a lot more high-class office space that's going at very reasonable rentals. So it means that startups and mid-sized companies can get good space and they can work affordably, which is important.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about this sort of immigration that you've had? I've actually done quite a lot of work in Christchurch with the Kiwi Landing Pad community, and there's been a phenomenal amount of talent that have sort of poured into the city, it seemed, in the last sort of like decade, and most of it seems to be tech talent.
Yeah, well, it's great. I mean, our members tell us that one of their biggest issues around growth is getting tech talent in, so that's a really high priority for us in Christchurch. And we think that we're an ideal city to attract tech talent. We have affordable housing, unparalleled lifestyle. Some might argue with that, but we think it's a great lifestyle. We have great tech companies across a wide range of industries, so you can find something that's going to interest you. So yeah, it's just a great tech destination for tech talent.
And you've obviously got the university here, which produces a lot of New Zealand's best sort of computer science grads as well, correct?
Yeah, it's not just the university. I mean, we have a lot of really good tertiaries. Aotearoa are doing fantastic work, Signal ICT is doing fantastic work, and there's just a wide range of these tertiaries which are producing good talent. So yeah, that's exciting.
Awesome. So what do you see the future looking like for the Canterbury Tech sector?
So look, I think we're going to keep on growing. We're the third largest contributor to GDP behind dairy and tourism, and I think the focus is going to move off those two and onto tech. I think we can all agree that it's not really an environmentally sustainable model to concentrate on those, but they do have a place. So I think we're going to see tech getting a lot more focus. I think we're going to see tech growing. And I'd like to see us being a really high-value tech centre. We're not going to win the race to the bottom in terms of providing cheap resource, but we can certainly do what we've always done, and that's provide really innovative thinking and high-tech engineering.
Awesome. Can you talk me through the Summit a bit? I actually talked at Summit a few years ago, and I know how fun it is. And it really is one of the biggest events for startups in New Zealand. It happens every year. You have a couple streams and people exhibit as well. So tell me a little bit more about it and why it's so important.
The Summit's just a great event. As you said, it's the biggest of its kind in New Zealand now. So, we get 700 or 800 people along, we get international speakers, and we typically have a couple of streams. One of them is just a celebration of local tech, and that's that inspire part. It's to show people what you can do if you put your mind to it and you have the right support. And then we have, the learning streams, applied tech, how you can apply tech in your business. And it's above all, it's just an opportunity for everyone in the tech community to get together and to chat and to connect and to just be inspired by what's happening in Canterbury. So it's always a great event.
Awesome. Okay, so Canterbury has the largest, most active regional tech cluster in New Zealand. Why do you think this is?
Look, I think it comes down to a couple of things. One of it is the type of people we have on the South Island. I think they're pragmatic. They like to help each other. They like to work together. I think it's the fact that we don't have the tyranny of distance, so we don't have to travel an hour and a half to get to work every day, so it's quite easy to have events in the centre of the city and for people to go along. And yeah, I think we're just good at working with each other, and part of that has been, the earthquakes and other things. It has fostered a spirit of community.
And some amazing startups have actually come out of a really unfortunate situation. I know a number of Canterbury Tech that's come and landed in San Francisco with us at the Kiwi landing pad, and a lot of it was around like seismic kind of technology that then helped California, which is obviously gets as a earthquake risk as well, which is quite interesting. What do you think about that kind of innovation popping up?
Yeah, it's fantastic, and we see a lot of that. If you look on the geo front, Sequent are probably more than a startup now, but they're doing great work in that space. So anytime you can take a disaster and turn it into a positive, and I think that's something that in Christchurch we've had to get really good at doing. So yeah. On
that note, can you? Hope it's okay to talk about this, but can you talk a little bit about coming together as a community in these events and how important that is?
Yeah, so the latest tragedy obviously was the mosque killing, and it's been really fantastic to see how the community has rallied around helping everyone involved in that. So we've got a hackathon next Saturday where Microsoft are getting involved, and a lot of the local tech community are getting involved. We've got initiatives to help the Canterbury Muslim Community Trust get a CRM set up and to help with that, and really the outpouring of people who want to help and support has just been overwhelming. So, like I said, I don't think you should judge a community by these atrocities that happen, but you should judge them by the response to these atrocities. And I think every time Christchurch has shown itself in a very good light. It's really important for the community to sort of come together and also to have a response and a good one at that. Yeah. So can you talk to us about some of the hard lessons Canterbury Tech has picked up, perhaps something that other clusters might potentially learn from? Yeah, hard lessons. Well, I'd say it's like any business organisation. You have to work out how to monetize yourself. You have to work out how to get funding. If you want to grow and want to scale, that's what you need to do. So it's taken us a little while to get there, but we now have, we've employed Neil Hamilton, who is our part-time GM, and that's making a tremendous difference to the cut-through we can have, and we've also got 2 other part-time employees. And when you're not just staffed by volunteers, it means you can get really great continuity and you can get a lot of work done. Yeah, so that's been the major lesson, I think. Yeah. Cool. And funding and membership organisations, do they work? Ours seems to work. Yeah. Our members, the trick is to add value to our membership. So it'll work as long as we're providing our members with value. And yeah, we seem to be so far. It's always our challenge, but we're taking it on.
I always have a debate with people whether or not to have membership or to not, and everyone falls on one side of the coin, and so I like asking people about that. Okay, what do you think is needed for Christchurch to continue fostering this active tech hub?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think it's that focus on tech, putting it at the forefront of everything we do with the local economic development agency and with the government getting funding for, can I say, tech clusters. It'd be great to get more funding. So I think that's really a big part of it, and for us to really work on, as you said, the immigration, to really attract some high-tech talent to the area, and also some just bigger high-tech companies, because we need to raise the profile of Christchurch. We're very bad at doing that profile piece, and we like to hide our light under a bushel. So that's a big part of what we need to do, and put ourselves on the map.
Okay, so we have an online question here. And the audience just wants to know a little bit more around how you work with companies in the cluster.
So, well, as you know, we're a membership-based organisation. So we give companies an opportunity to tell the rest of our membership about themselves, and that's a great avenue for raising your employer brand. And for attracting talent to yourself. But we also work individually with companies if they need it. We can put them in touch with other partners and other members. And then we have opportunities for them to come to our monthly networking events and to the summit at a discounted rate. And we're having a couple of things happening. We've actually got a few new initiatives. So we've got a mentorship program starting, which we're very excited about. Look-See is happening, so that's actually an initiative now that's nationwide that we kicked off, so we're very proud of that. And we have our first C-suite forum happening in a couple of weeks as well, and a podcast. So there's plenty of opportunities for companies to get involved.
Cool, and a lot going on. Okay, so outside of affordable housing and no traffic, what are some of the advantages to tech companies being in Christchurch or a region in general outside of the major centres?
Yeah, well, I think those are two very important points in that. I would say that there is actually affordable rent as well, so we have a lot of space in the inner city, really high quality space because it's new. Just a very connected community, as we've been saying. So, on any day there's a number of meetups that people can go to, and they can meet people in the same sort of role that they're in. And just, like I say, a very strong community. Yeah.
Cool. And last question is, where would you like to see the Christchurch tech scene in 2050?
That's a good question. I'd like us really to see us doing, like I say, more high-tech engineering type things. So we've got a nascent aerospace industry here. Wouldn't it be great if we were launching rockets from around Christchurch and putting satellites in space, etc. I'd love to see us doing really high-tech engineering around health. I was at a talk the other night about printing bones and cartilage, etc., which was fascinating. And really looking at artificial intelligence, machine learning, all those really high-value disciplines that I think fits really well with our history and can be our future as well.
Awesome. And for those people online that want to check you out, do you know the website?
It's Canterbury Tech, so just Google Canterbury Tech and you can find us there.
Cool. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Techweek TV. See you later.